What's up, everybody? It's Judith Echo. You're listening to Mad Love. Took a break yesterday. I don't know. I feel like my body's just like, hey, girl, it's time to relax. So I don't always feel fired up about stuff. And I don't want to deprive my audience. It's called Mad Love for a reason. I have a lot of passion. I'm mad about a lot of stuff, but it's all love. But if I don't feel that, then I don't feel like I should make a show. So I didn't. And today is Juneteenth, which I'm sure I'm supposed to be all excited about. But again, it's just like slavery. So, like, can we get a non-slavery themed holiday? Or maybe just treat us good every day? And I know people get tired of me because I'm a contrarian about these things. But seriously, it's like the slave movies, the period stories, like everything is to remind you that you were a slave. And then they give you this, or you're descended from slaves, but really descended, because like I said, it's not like I ever went over my uncle's house who was a slave and just hung out with him all weekend. You know what I mean? Like, we're slaves in different ways now. But, the slavery that they're talking about and referring to is a thing of, none of us alive really remember that. So I just feel like it's such a psyop. They're always trying to just make you know your place. I don't know. It really bothers me. And I'm trying to not be the person that gets bothered by everything, but I don't want to be manipulated anymore. It's like constantly, every time you turn around, you think you're doing good, and it's like, but don't forget slavery. And it's like, well, maybe we can just, not constantly have it thrown up in our faces. I really am glad that the slave movies took a break, because they went nuts with those. I saw like 5 and I was like, that's enough. I'm not a slave. I'm still alive. We can tell contemporary stories. So, but however you feel about Juneteenth, that's how you feel. Good for you. But me personally, it's just not something I feel like they were trying to win some votes or something. You know what I mean? Because the two-party political system is gasping. It's on life support. Nobody believes these people anymore. You have those extremists on both sides who really think the system is still working, but the rest of us know for a fact that it's not, and are frustrated because they're not even pretending that it's working. You got Donald Trump out here talking mad shit about Israel all of a sudden. I don't know how that's going to end for him. He got a cup of courage from somewhere, I guess, turning 80. Well, I will say this. I've lived with an octogenarian, and they do speak their mind. So maybe he just was like, and he old and crazy anyway. So it's like, why are you putting a microphone in front of him? These little speeches he's been making, he's been going off. And he's so proud of this agreement that is going to be violated. You already know. I have no faith that everybody is going to honor this agreement. I just don't believe that. So, and he's so proud of it. And it's like, okay, dude, keep talking. And you talking shit. I don't know how that's going to end for him. And he, rapping Netanyahu on the knuckles and talking about you don't have to do all this. And, like, where was this courage a few minutes ago? Like, you ain't had none of this courage like a month or two ago. You have been feckless and doing whatever you think BB wants you to do. And everybody can see it. Now, all of a sudden, you turn 80 and you're just a shit talker. All right, bro. Good luck. Good luck. I don't know how that's going to turn out. So, yeah, I don't know. He's such a lunatic. I'm not sure why people think he's so great. And I don't know him personally. I don't. But, there are people who think he's smart. I've heard Tucker Carlson say he thinks Trump is smart. And he thought he could reach him. And he was trying to get him to not do this war and all this stuff. And so now that Trump has just basically turned even the logical people who you couldn't understand, who were voting for him, into people who are like, feeling betrayed and feeling like they have had Trump stab them in the back and all this kind of shit. I mean, the reality is you just can't trust any of these politicians, and why people continue to believe that these folks are out here trying to do something good for you. How many times are you going to let another politician stand there and tell you how they're going to get good jobs and bring back the middle class, and they know you want good educations for your kids and all this shit they say that they do absolutely nothing about when they get elected? They all have the same talking points. They're all the same. You know, we're going to do this. They speak to their base. They talk a lot of shit. And then when it comes time to do something, you know, they're they're in office and they don't have to run. So they're not saying shit or doing shit. You know, it's just really bizarre. You know, and then I didn't read the autopsy on Kamala's presidential run, but all of that was jacked up. And you can tell, I think I heard yesterday that Barack wanted Gretchen Whitmer and Wes Moore to run. He didn't even want Kamala, which I was getting the feeling because he kept saying, well, we need to do a runoff, or we need to do this, or we need to do that. But Joe Biden didn't appreciate them trying to force him not to run. So he said, okay, I'll quit, but I'm putting Kamala in and nobody can say shit about it. And that's what happened. And I don't think he even wanted her as his vice president. So I'm telling you, and they're all so old. Even Obama's starting to look old, but he's still only in his 60s. Some of these folks are super old. And the fact that they're so passionate about, you know, keeping their positions and they know what's best for everybody. And it's like, I don't know. Do people really go to the oldest folks in the room to ask for advice? No, you usually go to the most accomplished person. And unfortunately, if you live long enough, sometimes, you know, you go from being the most accomplished to being the too old to really be connected to reality anymore person. And I think that's where most of our Congress is. You know, people are fucking disappearing and missing because they're in nursing homes. I mean, seriously, what is going on? Term limits, age limits. And listen, I think it's time for younger people to take over. And yes, many of these people will not know what they're doing. What they don't want to tell you is a lot of these younger people don't really know what they're doing. They don't have any experience. But they do have youth. And hopefully some of them will have some logic on their side. You know, I've seen that up close where people who didn't really know what they were doing all of a sudden had all the power. And it was not for me. You know, I had to go because I obviously wasn't who they thought I was, and they weren't who I thought they were. Well, actually, one of them was exactly who I thought they were. But yeah, you know, sometimes you just have to put your foot down and make a move and do what's best for you. And I think as a country, the United States is toast in a lot of ways. And that's what's going to happen. They're going to leave these old people are going to die off because that's what happens. And they're going to leave a lot of people not ready for leadership. No one's being groomed to be the new boss of anything. I think Trump is trying to drain it completely dry. You know, he just wants all the money. The billionaires want to take all the money and resources, and when it's over, they'll move on to whatever's next. And that's the least fatalistic view they have, because they're wondering if the world will still exist even, which sounds crazy, but that's where we are. People are thinking it's the end times, and you've got all these people with different beliefs. They all have a lot of money. They all have a lot of power and control. Everybody thinks they're the boss. And it's just a really challenging time to be alive. But in my mind, there's only one real boss, and that's God. They've done everything in their power to try to keep us separate from God. They don't want people, if you watch a war show now, they don't even want people thanking God. You know, the demons and the Satanists, you know, apparently, you know, like I told you, Sammy Davis Jr. was a popular Satanist. Jane Mansfield was a Satanist. The Beatles, they love Satan. They listen to a lot of Aleister Crowley. And it's like some of this stuff you feel like it's just been one big psyop to make you not believe in the goodness and the kindness of the Lord. And I mean the Lord God, the good one. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I do know if you have faith, that is the beginning, that is the main ingredient in your ability to recover and survive and thrive. You don't have to believe all this terrible news. You don't have to watch it. You don't have to consume it. You don't have to be a part of it. All these people aren't right. It's like if you look at YouTube, every thumbnail, it's the end of the world. This money is over. It's the end. This World War III is over. All these headlines are so depressing. And it's like, but I was thinking one day, I was like, how can all of these headlines be true? There's really only one possible outcome. You can't believe that, and all these people might not be right. One of them might be right, but they're not all right. And so you have to be careful what you consume on YouTube, on TV. You got to have a basis of something that you can pull on that makes you feel good, that you believe is the right way to be, and it makes you feel good. And it's godly because it makes you feel good. Evil is, you have to manufacture evil. You have to go out and conjure it up and invite it in your life and do all these rituals. You don't have to do any of that if it's godly. And I don't know why anybody would want to invoke all this darkness. It doesn't do anything good for your mind, your body, or your spirit. Unleash all of these demons. Let them go. Bring a discernment and a spirituality to all of your practices. And enjoy your days. We don't know how much time we have left. They're trying to program robots to take over the world right now. Who knows if these robots want us here? And, quite frankly, I ask God every day to deliver me from evil, deliver us all from evil, to stop evil in its tracks and remove it. And I'm here for that. We have been at the mercy of some very, very evil and cruel people who care nothing about humanity. They only care about controlling humanity and the money that comes with that. It's all just been this giant demonic game. But joke's on them, because I'm not playing. And I'm ready for something beautiful and peaceful and lovely. I'm entering my quiet, luxurious era, but I plan to be very, very impactful. So get ready for that. All right, if you are looking for something interesting and you're a big fan of Earth, Wind, and Fire, you should check out their documentary on HBO. I'm not a big fan of Questlove's documentaries, but this one was pretty good. And, do something fun. Smell some flowers. Watch a favorite movie. Look for the psyop and all the old shit, because it's there. There's been a lot of propaganda. But there are still good things, and there are still good people. And let's focus on that and us. Be well, be safe, take care of yourselves. And let's see, we're already at nearly the end of June. This is wild. We're already getting ready. We're bumping up on July. Time is not slowing down for you. It's going fast. Be ready, be prepared, be blessed. Talk soon.